Ciao ragazzi, here to talk about the first big matchup of the weekend. Talk about Bologna hosting Inter, two of the best teams in the league, two of the most talked about teams in the league, right? Inter on their historic run, Bologna looking to become a Champions League team out of the blue, really, with Thiago Motta and Xerxes and company. This is a fantastic story by both teams, really, and so a lot of eyes will be interested to see what would happen in this matchup. Two teams who are very good at what they do, and both have been very hot lately. Inter have been hot all season long, but Bologna have been hot as of recently, and curious to see how this game is going to pan out. It was interesting to see, probably not too surprising to see that Inter did rotate at three guys who normally don't start in games, did start in this one, obviously with the Atleti matchup just around the corner. They want to keep their key personnel as fresh as possible. So, heavily rotated team by, or a rotated team by Inzaghi's men. What I noticed immediately from the get-go, Inter were pressing as soon as Bologna had the ball. Looked like Inzaghi was intent to make sure Bologna felt as uncomfortable as possible, especially because, Bologna loves to play out of the defense, and so as soon as the ball got played out, instant pressure by Inzaghi's men forced Bologna to kind of act quickly, think quickly, and as a result, you saw a lot of turnovers in the game. But nice strategy from Inter. You don't often see them press that much, that often. But again, for Thiago Motta's team, I think this is the perfect thing to do for Inzaghi's men. And as you'd expect, Inzaghi was going to let Bologna have all the possession he wants. Inter are a counter-attacking team, as we always talk about on Serie A sit-down, which we'll probably, I'm sure, talk about this game, especially on our next podcast Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you're there for that. But Bologna had a lot of possession of the ball. They look good on possession. They love to build out the back and try to secure the game that way. As Inter pressed, Bologna did do a good job initially of kind of breaking out some of that press. But really, the way Inter were set up, they had all this possession, Bologna did, but really, they really couldn't penetrate Inter's defense and really had to play back passes a lot and kind of try to restart the play over and over again the way that Inter were set up back there. You never really saw any threatening plays come into Inter's defensive side just because it was well-disciplined, well-structured team by Inzaghi. Now, on the flip side, when the times that Inter did have the ball, you saw similarly Bologna pressing as well. What they did, they would press the ball carrier and they would swarm to kind of trying to cause turnovers themselves. And so both teams doing a good job pressing. You understand why both these teams have two of the best defenses in the league and they don't give it that many goals is because they like to pressure the ball, like to make the opposition feel awkward with it and then try to take advantage of it with counterattacking football. The first real opportunity of the game came from Alexis Sanchez. The ball was played over, really well-worked play by Inter. Fast, quick passing eventually led to Alexis Sanchez on the short side. This is like the 10th minute or so. Gets a shot off first real third of the game by either team, but Skorupski makes the easy save on that. It's worth noting with Bologna's defense, they were playing very tight man marking as well, and so when the ball was even way back and near Jan Sommer and in the defenders, you can see all the key players for Inter were tightly marked by the Bologna defenders. Obviously didn't want to lose control. This is obviously a very talented, very good, very well-disciplined team, Inter is, and so Bologna wanted to make sure they had everyone accounted for and no one had any really free space to do what they want to do and just run and try to score and get a lot of highlight material plays. First quarter hour of the game, very even matchup. No really threatening opportunities. Darmian had a good opportunity on the right-hand side. He missed just wide. I talked about the Alexis Sanchez chance in the 10th minute. It really wasn't until the 21st minute that pressing eventually took its toll on Bologna, and in particular Christensen. Christensen turns the ball over to Barella. Barella takes a shot on Skorupski. He had to is forced to make a save in that. But you can see Inter were intent on putting pressure on Bologna's ball-playing defenders, forcing them to make turnovers. That way they're going to try to get their opportunities that way. It seemed all match long. This is the game plan, and Thiago Motta kind of just stuck to his bread and butter, didn't really try to change too much, and as a result, I think that's why you didn't see that many quality scoring chances from Bologna in this matchup. I must say that one of the key players and one of the better players for Bologna in the first half was Odegaard. Odegaard, I thought, was very active, was up and down that right-hand side flank of Bologna, both defensively and offensively contributed a lot. And then finally, Bologna get their first shot on target, making forcing a save by Jan Sommer. Ferguson comes up the pitch, takes a long-distance shot. Fairly routine save by Jan Sommer, but that's the first shot in the game with 34 minutes into the game. That shows you how good the defense was playing for Inter in this one. And what we did see, at least on the Inter side, when they had the ball, they play with intention. Quick passes. That's the only way you're going to get past this Bologna defense is if you play very quick football. And on the left-hand side, you saw that play. Quick passes, combinations between the Inter players. Eventually, Carlos Augusto had 2 guys on him. Passes back to Bastoni, who one times a wonderful cross, beautiful cross. Over the top backdoor finds Jan Bisek, who makes a sensational header. That's a goal of the week candidate there. I mean, if you're going to be Bologna, it has to be a goal like that. And what a play by Bastoni and Bisek on that. But it's all that combination of team passing that led up prior to that led to that opportunity for Bastoni to swing it in. And nobody's man marking Bisek in the back corner. We talk about the tight man marking. Well, someone lost their assignment in there, and Jan Bisek, fantastic header, is a great shot online where Jan Bisek's mid-air going for that header. Great photo there. But nonetheless, 1-0. Inter get the lead in the first half. Really just more of the same. 1-0 lead at halftime for Inter. Even for the most part of the game, but I thought of the two, obviously, Inter did better with the quick combination passing versus Bologna, who were more methodical and really did nothing to threaten Jan Sommer in the first half. Coming out of the second half, more of the same from Bologna. Posch did have a great opportunity in the 49th minute that just missed wide on Jan Sommer's goal. But as the game progressed on, Inter kept doing the same thing. And you would expect that Thiago Motta would make adjustments, especially at halftime, considering how they had no really quality opportunities in the first half. You thought they'd make some adjustments. Unfortunately, as good as Thiago Motta's been this year, he seemed a little stubborn in this matchup, not wanting to try a plan B. He kept trying to play out the back. Inter put pressure on him and made it very difficult, forced a lot of unforced errors on Bologna. And as a result, Inter looked comfortable the entire game. Like I said, not really threatened defensively. I mean, maybe the only opportunity in the second half that we saw was Orsolini late in the game. Cross comes in. He has a chance at a header, but there's a really poor contact on it, misses it wide. Outside of that, really, there was zero opportunity against Jan Sommer. Inter's defense, fantastic. If they play this kind of defense against Atleti, it's going to be a long day for Diego Simeone's men. So, two teams, very good defensively, you could see. Bologna was also good defensively. They really didn't allow Inter to create too much. But the better team won. Inter are very good. I hope next time Thiago Motta gets this opportunity against a team like this, or even Inter, he adjusts. He didn't make adjustments. He kept his plan A, and that unfortunately bit them in the butt. I thought Xerxes had worked very hard in this game, but he dropped way too deep at times, coming to his own half to try to get the ball and kickstart the offense. And I know that's his thing. He's a false nine. He roams around everywhere. But ultimately, I think this attack by Bologna was struggling, and they needed to try something different against Inter. Inter were content to let them, hey, you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again? Keep trying it. We're not going to let you do anything. And as a result, Inter's stout defense shut them out. And Inter got an impressive win. Bologna didn't look terrible in this game, but the lack of willing to change and make either key adjustments or changing your play altogether against a team this good as Inter ultimately came to bite them in the butt. And hopefully they learn from this going forward if they want to keep on in the Champions League ascension or even just European football. But yeah, they got taught a good lesson today. Now, not every team is Inter. They understand this. However, they're gonna be biting themselves that they couldn't come up with better opportunities against a team like Inter. They had a good game plan. Bologna did. They limited Inter's scoring opportunities, but they could not create anything for themselves. So you live, you learn, right? All right, that's our recap for Bologna versus Inter. Still got another reaction to go with Juve and Atalanta, but this game was an entertaining game, low-scoring game. Always is going to be low-scoring with the two of the best defending teams in the league. So we'll talk more about this game and the other games on Serie A sit down on Tuesday night. So make sure you're there. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Ciao, ragazzi.